What's up, everybody? Welcome to this week's episode of the Dense Pixel Podcast. I'm your host, Brad, joined by my co-hosts, Micah.
Hey.
And Terrence.
What's going on?
We're going to get right into the biggest news story, not nay, just in gaming, but in all of news this past week. And that is that Tottenham fucking Hotspur are in the Champions League final. And I could not be more excited.
So which one is this one? Is this the FIFA World Cup? Or?
No, this is the club version of the Super Bowl, essentially.
Okay, now who is the club?
I'm saying the like club soccer version. There's club soccer and there's international soccer.
Oh, okay.
What's the difference?
Club soccer is like professional, like where you get paid, and then international is just you're doing it for your country.
Okay, so this is like the
NBA
versus the Olympics.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes, and if Tottenham can beat Liverpool on June the 1st, they will be champions of Europe. And I still can't believe that this has happened. This isn't even like this has been more exciting than the Caps, because the Caps were like supposed to win at some point, right? Like the Caps were projected to be champions forever. So when it finally happened, it was exciting, but it was just like, oh, good, this finally happened, because it was supposed to the whole time. Tottenham was not supposed to be nowhere close to where they are.
Oh, it's like a Cinderella story
in many ways, and the way that they won to get into the final was amazing. So I'll give you the brief synopsis. So Tottenham was losing, but because there's when you play these matches in the knockout rounds, you play two matches, one at one team stadium and one at the other team stadium, and the tiebreaker. So in case the combined score ends up tied, they go by whichever team has scored the most away goals. So whichever team scored the most goals on the road. So you can get into a situation where the lead will just pinball back and forth based on other teams scoring. And so Tottenham was losing, but if they scored, they would win. Of course, soccer does not have a fixed time like other sports do, because once you play the 90 minutes, then they add on injury time, basically, which is to make up for the time wasted during out of play stoppages and stuff like that. And so they add on 5 minutes, but it's still like a nebulous concept, because the match ends when the referee blows his whistle, not based on any kind of official timekeeping.
Mm-hmm.
And so Tottenham scored what is as close as you can get to a buzzer beater in soccer, because the match was set for 95 minutes and they scored pretty much on 95.00.
Oh, wow.
Essentially.
All right.
And to the point where if the team they were playing had defended and cleared the ball, the game literally would have been over. The referee would have blown his whistle.
Oh.
So it was quite exciting.
Who knocked out Arsenal?
Arsenal was not even in the Champions League this year, Micah, because they are a scrub team.
God damn it!
With
when are we gonna win one?
Well, to be fair,
Arsenal fan.
Well, to be fair, Arsenal was in the Europa League, which is the NIT to the Champions League NCAA tournament.
Europa League.
Yes, that's what it's called. But Arsenal is in the Europa League final, so they will be playing Chelsea in the Europa League final. That's right. Both finals are an all England affair, which I'm sure is making the Premier League very happy.
The Europa League.
Yeah.
Is that like the JROTC of this league?
It is, basically.
Oh.
It's a competition that Tottenham was familiar with for many years before we finally started qualifying regularly for the Champions League.
Oh, well, we get the kids table prize. All right.
But if Arsenal win the Europa League, they get to go to the Champions League next year. That's one of the benefits of winning the Europa League competition.
Oh, snap.
You get automatic qualification for the Champions League. So I'm super excited. It still doesn't feel like it happened. But that's enough soccer talk for this video game podcast that we are hosting here. Terrence was gone last week. He's been playing a couple of riveting titles that he would love to tell you about.
Riveting?
Well, I'm curious to hear about Undernight, N-Birth, ABCDQX 358 over 2 days, RE coded.
Under Night and Birth. The actual name of the game is Under Night and Birth X Late ST. Don't ask me why the fuck is called that. I have no fucking clue. The original came out, I think, in 2012. Just regular Under Night and Birth. And they've had like 2 iterations since. It is a very Japanese fighting game. It's along the lines of like Guilty Gear. It's got a very easy to. I'm not fuck that. I'm not even gonna say it's easy to learn. There's like 5 or 6 different systems in this game that I still am not 100% certain how they work. There's something called the grid system. There's something called chain shift. There's a Vorpal system, and it's kind of like a tug of war type thing going on, and it's complicated as fuck, but it's a very good game. And it's super Japanese. You have your prototype character. You've got your Ken and Ryu characters, and just grapplers and all kinds of other stuff. And this is going to be one of the main games at Evo this year. And I mean, I can see why, because it is very good. This is one of those games where you just, if you've never played it, you're just not gonna know what the fuck they're gonna. You're not gonna know what they're talking about, because they're gonna be talking about all kinds of crazy shit, and you're like, what? Fine. I just want to see people get beat up, and it's incredibly momentum based. Hence that the tug of war system in the actual fighting system itself. So if you see somebody gain momentum, like I've had matches where I'm down to no health at all, and then like I can get a combo off, and then the momentum will shift in my favor, and I've come back and won. My opponent has had maybe like 80% of their health, and I've just won the match with literally like 10% health left. Wow. And that happens a lot. It's kind of weird how it works. It's fun, and it's a lot different from Dragon Ball, because it's the timing from combos are like super strict, and I have to get used to that. Like if you don't input your combos correctly, it's just they don't give you any leeway. You just fuck your combo up, and you opened yourself up for someone gaining their momentum back and beating the shit out of you. Again, I like it, but it's way different from the shit I've been playing for the last couple of years. But it's good. Other game I picked up was Watch Dogs 2, because it was like $10. That's it.
Wow, that's it.
Ringing endorsement.
No, it's good. It's good, and I like playing a black protagonist who was just a black dude.
Thank you.
He's not like a stereotype. He's a very smart hacking nigga.
I mean, he's a very different type of stereotype.
I mean, not like when I think of like the nerdy black dude, he doesn't strike me as that either. The interesting thing is like his main weapon is like his magic phone. Yeah, with a magic phone where he can literally do whatever the fuck he wants with it. But then, like, no, his physical weapon is like the cue ball with the string attached.
Oh yeah.
That's dope. And he's a hacker, but like you can 3D print like weapons.
Yeah.
And he murders people.
Yeah,
like
that's
a lot of people. I'm like, yo, this is throwing me off. Like everything is cool, but like when you do missions where you just got to put bullets into cops, I'm like, you're a hacker, my nigga. Like, what are you doing? What's going on?
I try my best to not use guns.
Yeah, me too. I'm like, I just want to use the taser, dog, because that's what you're here for. Like,
yeah,
hardcore, and you use a taser gun. Like, why am I using like AR-15s and shit? It's really weird.
Right.
It's
like it
really
just makes sense. Especially because like during the story missions, like there would be like, you know, like, oh, we got to figure out a way to try and do this without doing such and such and such and such. But you can play the missions damn near any way you want. So if you want to just pull out your, you know, cardboard fucking assault rifle and just mow people down. Like, all right, whatever.
Yeah, you can. And like in the beginning of the game, the first mission, they test you, right? And you got to go through the CTOS or CTOS, and you have to wipe your slate clean on like little misdemeanors you may have done. And then you go on a murdering spree. I'm like, nigga, what is going on in this game? It's so freaking, like, it's very good. Like the representation of San Francisco is awesome. Like they have a bunch of different customizations as far as clothes and shit. But like, it's kind of, I like it, but that's really taking me out of the game.
Like I really would have appreciated that game so much more if this dude, one, could not take a bullet, and two, was not given anything other than, like you said, the taser.
Yeah. And his two drones and shit.
Right.
To kind of like scope an area, because essentially you want to be like a hitman without putting bullets into people.
Right. Right. Like what the fuck are you walking around Stanford.
And how did you learn to use all those weapons, dude? It's like it's not that easy.
Right.
The weapons did not pick up and play.
Right. Like, hey, I'm gonna go tag the Golden Gate Bridge, and then I'm just gonna perch up there with my cardboard sniper rifle and just fucking murk people, yo. Like, it just doesn't make sense.
I mean, to be fair, like Ubisoft, though they've kind of turned around as one of the better big developers, they make Assassin's Creed, and then they make other different themed versions of Assassin's Creed. It seems like now.
Yeah, that's what it is. Like, I really like that game, man, but it just does not make sense.
Like, I like the aesthetic, like I like the soundtrack. It's cool, like it looks good, but like that shit, I'm just like, why am I doing all this? It's just so fucking strange. But it's fun. Like, if you never played it before, like I would recommend it. I mean, again, you can play it without just going on a fucking psychopathic murdering spree, but it's, you know, sometimes you want to shoot somebody. But you're a hacker. Who's like only other things before you wipe the slate clean was probably running a red light.
Right.
Like hacking into the dark web or some shit. I don't know.
You get out of Oakland to leave that life because you were scared. You know what I mean? Like, what the fuck?
It's the wildest shit, dude. And some people are like, oh, it's just whatever. But nah, it's weird, yo. It's fucking weird.
Yeah, you trying to tell a story, man. Like,
well, if you want to just shoot things, you can pick up Rage 2 this week. That highlights our new releases for the week. The reviews that are coming in are basically great gameplay, shallow open world. So a solid 7.5/8.
Anybody play the first one?
Nope.
We didn't.
Nah.
Yeah, I played the first one. It was it took me twice. I played it when it first came out, then I'm like, nah. Then I picked it up again when it was like $5. And I watched it. It was all right. The gunplay was fine because ID Software, that's what they do. But like the rest of it was kind of like, yeah.
And see, I guess that's kind of remained the same for this one as well. So, but yeah, if you're looking for just a fun run around and shoot things game, I guess check out Rage 2. Certainly, it's probably gonna be better than Bubsy Paws on Fire. Somehow the Bubsy games are making a return. So that's coming out this week on PS4 and Xbox One. Man, there are just so many shitty mascot games that we forgot about from the late 90s.
Man. Like, good lord.
Bubsy, what was the other one?
Gex the Gecko was another.
Remember Spot?
Yep.
Cool.
Oh, that was like late 80s. Right? Yeah, that was a long time ago.
That was a long fucking. That game wasn't too bad. I'm not gonna lie, it was on Nintendo.
I liked Spot. I didn't like the Noid game.
No one needs you Noid. So not in this universe.
Do you think people listening know what the Noid is?
No, I would imagine that I would imagine that probably 95% of our listeners have no idea what the fucking Noid is, and we're not going to tell you. You can Google the Noid to find out which company the Noid used to represent and find out what it was, and make sure you go to YouTube and watch some of the Noid commercials, and then just realize that they made an NES game with this character in the starring role. So,
oh shit.
A Plague Tale: Innocence comes to PS4 and Xbox One. For some reason, the second consecutive week with why did they remaster this game? Sniper Elite V2 gets a remastered edition coming to PS4, Xbox One, and Switch. So if you really want to kill Hitler again, you can get Sniper Elite V2. The Castlevania Anniversary Collection is coming to PlayStation 4. And Micah's favorite game of the week, I have to imagine, as it's relevant to his interests, Bartender VR Simulator comes to the PlayStation VR this week as well. So, Micah, if you ever wanted to pour some cocktails, you could do it in virtual reality.
Wow, I have to look at this. Wow, they will literally make a game out of anything. Huh?
They will. They like every mundane job that exists is going to get a VR simulator of some kind.
Goodness,
at some point. So
wow, I'm just looking at like screen caps of previews of YouTube videos and see these dorks with these stupid things on their head, pretending that they're tending bar and enjoying it. Yeah, this sucks, man. This looks terrible. Wow. And then it's got like the virtual reality thing where
You
for
see the
some reason,
hands.
yeah, you see the hands, but only the hands.
Yep.
That always is very off-putting to me. Feels like I should be playing like some weird version of Smash Brothers, like the master hand at his day job is a fucking bartender, and at night he goes and hits Mario in the face or some shit.
Well, stay tuned next week for Walmart Cart Wrangler Simulator, which I'm sure is probably going to be next week's new release. Because, like I said, every job that exists is going to get a simulator game of some kind. So, moving on to quick hit news. We talked last week about Randy Pitchford and how a little faux pas led to a major online deluge against him. And boy, howdy, could we not have seen what was coming the following week, because this shit is going off the fucking rails. So David Eddings was a guy that used to work at Gearbox, and he was also the voice of Claptrap in the Borderlands games. And people asked him why he wasn't coming back to reprise the role in Borderlands 3, and he mentioned the fact that he asked for back pay because apparently Gearbox employees were allowed to provide voices in the Borderlands games, not required to do it as part of their job, but they could do it if they wanted to, but they weren't paid for it. So he wanted back pay as well as to be paid for this one as well. And Gearbox said that they offered him an industry standard rate. And somehow Randy Pitchford got involved on Twitter. And they were basically, people were saying, hey, they forced this guy to do Claptrap's voice. And I'm going to quote Randy Pitchford from his Twitter feed. And he says, there was no force. He wanted it and reveled in it. The issue today is that Mr. Eddings is bitter and disgruntled about having been terminated. He was offered 2 times scale. He refused. I don't want him to do it unless he wants to do it as motivation affects performance. Well, but that's not all. So then in response to this, David Eddings said that he had been willing to redo the role and put bad feelings aside, but he ultimately offered to do it, like I said, quote unquote, for free in exchange for past royalties, plus an apology for something he said he had never spoken about publicly, that Randy Pitchford physically assaulted him in the lobby of the Marriott Marquis at GDC 2017. And then he followed that up with several more tweets about Pitchford and Gearbox and all sorts of other stuff. Now, this claim seemed dubious at first. Like, it seemed odd that he had never mentioned it. It seemed odd that it was never litigated. This is the first we're hearing about it in this context. It seemed odd. And to be fair to Randy Pitchford, David Eddings has portrayed himself as someone who's been quite bitter since leaving Gearbox, quite frankly. Since then, though, the story has been corroborated by 2 people who claim to have witnessed the attack, which was a shove, basically. Like, he shoved at David Eddings because David Eddings had heard a rumor that someone who Randy Pitchford knew personally had been looking to acquire Gearbox, and when confronting him, attempting to confront him about this rumor, Randy Pitchford acted angrily, demanding to know who gave him the information. Apparently, Newsweek acquired some text messages back and forth between them, and Randy Pitchford literally like asking David Eddings where your loyalties lie and this, that, like this kind of bullshit. So
yeah, I was actually saw this early today.
Quotes like where your loyalties lie, and there was no force. He wanted it and reveled in it. Like, you're a bit of a problem, dude. Like that's very rapey. It is.
I mean, he did have like porn on his fucking on a thumb drive.
Yeah, it sure is bringing these other previous allegations into.
Yeah. He's a fucking weirdo, dude. Like, I gotta punch that nigga in his throat.
Yeah.
Like, don't shove me, dog. I'm gonna punch you in the face. You know? I gotta punch that dork right in his mouth. Like, dude, yeah, take your magic trick doing ass to the fucking hospital, nigga. But
that's the perfect word for him too. Dork.
Yeah, look. At this point, like, are they lying? Because they said like the co-founder is one of the fucking witnesses. The co-founder of Gearbox is one of the witnesses that saw this shit.
I mean, it's kind of difficult to claim that the story is exaggerated when you have 2 people that attest to have witnessed it.
Right. Like at this point, like, nah, you probably shoved that dude. And like you probably shoved the right person because somebody else would have probably punched you in your face. Like, because you knew he wasn't going to do anything. And on a side note, Claptrap is annoying as fuck. But that doesn't give you the right to shove the dude that does the voice. I'm look. Randy Pitchford, he blows things out of proportion. He's a bit of a dick. Not a bit of a dick, he's a big dick. He's an asshole. And he's proven it over the last month, like with this whole the microtransaction things. Right during the presentation, he said they weren't going to have microtransactions. Like,
oh, we talked about that last week.
You did?
That was last week's big story. Is that we
right?
You know, he freaked the fuck out on Game Informer for correctly reporting a story.
He's like, technically they are. Like, I get what he was saying, not like loot boxes, but like, yeah, they're microtransactions, bro.
Right, like you misspoke. Like all you have to, you said last week, all you have to do is say, "Hey, I misspoke. Here's what I meant."
And the crazy thing is, like, were there microtransactions in?
There were, yeah. You could buy skins basically. So.
Right. So I mean, it's not a big fucking deal. Like it's the same shit in the second one. That's it. But he tends to blow things out of proportion, and he tends to make himself feel like the victim. He tends to make himself the victim constantly. You're a CEO of a fucking video game company, dog. You make a lot of fucking money. Stop being a bitch.
That's another perfect word for it. Bitch. Yeah, I got like a bitch, yo.
Yeah, I don't like that guy, yo. And like your name is Randy Pitchford, yo. You're a terrible pitch man, yo. Like you are. You just show the gameplay. Let it speak for itself. We don't need to see your magic tricks. We don't need to see all this stuff. You keep your mouth shut, dog. That's all you gotta do.
That's it. You're doing way more harm than you are good. Do you watch Veep? Either of you?
No.
Yo, there's a character on there named Jonah Ryan, and that is who Randy Pitchford reminds me of. And Jonah Ryan is just this big, gangly, weird, dork ass bitch. Like it's all right, yo. God, I like Borderlands so much. I just really need him to be quiet.
So, funnily enough, since the other two people came forward, he's been awful quiet on Twitter since then. Weirdly enough,
lawyers probably were like, "What the fuck are you doing, bro?"
I think, and I really hope that Randy Pitchford's obvious ego can get past the point, because all he really should be doing for the next 6 months on Twitter is keeping his mouth shut, tweeting out shift keys, and letting the game director be the face of Borderlands 3. Because like you said, Mike, all he's going to do is cause harm to what should be a triumphant moment for Gearbox with this game coming out. It's going to be, by all accounts, extremely successful.
I've heard nothing but good things, that people, like all the people, the influencers that they brought to play the game for the demo, everybody was like, "Yo, this is great. It's more Borderlands, but like little
like
things
better.
they added. It's just better." But he is shut the fuck up, bro. Shut up.
I'm so looking forward to this game, and it just, like, every time I hear that guy's name, it deflates the excitement just a little bit, man.
Right, he lost a lot of goodwill with what was the last game that he had? Battleborn,
Aliens, Colonial
Marines, which was trash. You can still buy that game. I don't know why you would want to. They never fixed it. So like, yeah, and he's still. I don't think he's still like. I think he owes people an apology for that game. I don't think he gave people one. That game was a mess.
No, Terrence, we owe him an apology.
Yeah,
I don't know what
for being hard on it. For being hard on the game. How dare we?
How dare you criticize a game?
Yeah. Like he's just a fucking. Like I could not be in the same room with him because I would probably want to fight him.
And look, what he has done, and I'm making a flippant comparison, and I'm probably, it's probably inappropriate. So I'll preface this by saying what he's done is not nearly on the level as the other two examples that I'm going to cite. But when you think of media and you think of people that have trouble supporting a product from specific people, you think obviously of like Roman Polanski and Woody Allen in film. There's a lot of people that run away from stuff that they do because of allegations and things that they've done in their past. And Randy Pitchford, again, not on the same level because it's not, but he's quickly like approaching that same level of just people not liking him. And like you guys said, it's threatening to. There probably are going to be some people that are just like, I don't want to fucking play this game because I don't want to support him financially.
Brad, I guarantee you that Roman Polanski and Woody Allen at some point have said there was no force. They wanted it, reveled in it.
That's gross. And I really like Midnight in Paris, yeah.
I really do. And I can never watch.
I really like that goddamn movie. It's so good.
I can't watch that movie again without feeling some kind of way. Well.
Yeah,
so
that's gross. Yeah, sit your ass down somewhere, Randy, and just let your game come out.
Just shut up. Just shut your mouth. Just fucking go crawl into a hole. Like I said, tweet your shift keys, and just fucking just stop talking. Stop talking. That's all you have to do is just don't open your fucking mouth.
Your goodwill has waned.
Oh, Wayne is gone. It's exploded.
Any.
Are you kidding?
Like, when was the last time he had any? Like, I feel like he probably gained it back during the fucking during the fucking demo for
I don't know. That magic trick was quite elaborate and unnecessary in length.
Like, I feel like he got it for Borderlands 3, the presentation, and then like he started talking.
See, that's all a part of presenting, though, right? Like, you got to bore people to fucking death so that when you bring them out again, it's like, oh my God, right? Like,
and to be fair, like, he brought the development team on stage and acknowledged them, but at the same time, like, and again, I'm talking, I don't know Randy Pitchford. I'm just basing this on the years of watching him in presentations like that. He has to be the center of attention. Like, he can't not just be a guy that's there or not be there. Again, like the game director, every time I hear that guy talk is, delivers great information. He's enthusiastic. He's not, like a bore or some, he's not like a programmer to listen to. How sometimes, they send the wrong guy on stage to talk about this stuff. No, he's a great messenger for that game. Just let that dude do the talking. Like, it's not fucking hard. Just don't show up, please.
Yeah, you're the CEO. Let the people that design the game speak for it, please. Yeah, you had the idea, but like at the same time, like, nah, dog. People don't like CEOs, just inherently. Like, we don't like CEOs.
It's a good thing. Gearbox isn't like a publicly traded company, because I can't imagine what a board of directors would fucking be thinking.
Like, nigga, what the
fuck? How this dude's behavior? Like they would literally put like a muzzle on him. Like, shut up! Like, you are fucking this up. You are strangling the golden goose. Shut your mouth.
Yeah, no kidding, man.
So,
Jesus.
But yes, please just shut up, Randy Pitchford. EA is finally bringing the EA Access subscription service to PlayStation 4. It's coming this July. It's going to cost $4.99 per month, or $29.99 for the entire year, which is exactly what it costs on Xbox One. For those unfamiliar, the EA Access subscription service provides subscribers to unlimited access to over 50 EA games, including the press release has them listed like Battlefront 2, Burnout Paradise, Sims 4, Battlefield 1, and whatever the most recent Madden, NBA Live, and NHL games are. Typically what happens is the game will come out in stores, and then 6 months later, it's available on EA Access. It also gives you what they call Play First trials, which lets you play new games before they release up to 10 hours. Usually the weekend before. Mike has talked about this before because he's played, Dragon Age early and Mass Effect early and things like that. So
yeah.
Sony blocked this from the service, or blocked this when it originally started in 2014, saying that, quote, "We don't think asking our fans to pay an additional $5 a month for this EA specific program represents good value to the PlayStation gamer." I guess the winds have changed in the gaming industry, and they realized that it is a pretty good value for people that are fans of EA. So, bully for them.
Is it though? Like with EA Access and Xbox, there you can play 360 games also, right? You can't do that with this, can you?
I don't know. Can you play 360 games
I thought
with
you
the
could.
Xbox version?
Yeah, it's backwards compatible games on there.
Yeah, and you can't do that with this.
I mean, it's still a pretty good value. Like if you don't want to
I
pay
would just,
$60 for a game when it comes out, and then if you wait 6 months, you can just play it incessantly. Like
Yeah.
Terrence could dip into Battlefield 1 again if he wanted to, after not having played it for a very, very, very long time.
I mean, EA's
Probably not.
catalog is not the best.
EA's catalog is not what I wanted. That's why I don't pay for it. That's why I didn't pay for it on Xbox.
I mean, if anything, you can just pay your $5 whenever a game of theirs is coming out that you want and play it early. That's that's what Micah did. So
Yeah.
So if you just can't wait and you have to, play the early code and judge a game in pre-release state and throw a lot of bad PR up on the internet, then
Anthem much.
you can certainly do that.
Is Anthem free to play yet?
No, it won't be until I guess August by their normal timetable. So, well, not even free to play. It'll be part of EA Access.
I mean, like free to play isn't like you don't have to pay the money for this shit.
They're not going to make that game free to play.
I don't think they're going to fix it.
They will.
Well, if they don't fix it, they're not gonna make it free.
Yeah, that's for fucking well for sure. So.
I think they've essentially just been like, fuck it, we failed. I don't think they're gonna pay. I don't think they're gonna put money behind trying to fix it. Yeah.
That's not, you can't, but as much money was invested in that game, you can't just fucking write that off and be like, yeah, we're just not going to do it. Sorry, we just flushed $50 million down the toilet. That doesn't work that way.
Look, I don't think they are, yeah. Because I don't think they're learning from anything. It's been out for what, 2-3 months?
I don't think that you can, it's a very difficult thing to make that proclamation when No Man's Sky is a thing that exists, and we all saw the way that.
But No Man's Sky was a smaller development team.
Yeah, so if anything,
and they had the time.
I know, but if anything, EA has more resources.
They have more resources, but I feel like they're just going to be like, yeah, we fucked up, because their responses to them fucking this thing all the way up has been to fuck it up even more.
Yeah, but imagine the PR nightmare. Like, it's been bad enough as it is from a PR standpoint. Imagine what the reaction would be 3 months after this, much ballyhooed game came out that people paid $60 for, and 3 months in, they're like, "Oh, we fucked it up, guys. Sorry." Like, do you think anyone is buying an EA game after that? Like, if they bought Anthem and is like, "Oh, you're just bailing after 3 months," I would never buy another EA game ever again.
Madness coming out what, 2 months?
I don't know how much crossover there is in those two.
Yeah, there's probably not a lot of crossover, but I'm just saying, like, I don't think they're gonna fix it. I don't. We'll see in like 6 months.
Like I said, I think No Man's Sky proved that you can have a really bad launch.
There's a bunch of different examples of games that have come from the ashes, but like, who knows? Well, they need to do a Randy Pitchford and shut the fuck up.
They have been. They haven't been fucking talking for the last couple of weeks.
You sure?
Pretty sure. I mean, they've been dropping news when they can, but for the most part, they've been kind of quiet.
I saw was, what happened? They removed some stuff from a patch that they released. They had a live stream where they were talking about like level design when people were like, "But what about them drops though?" And they got mad when people were asking them about like loot drops, and they were like, "But this level, yo."
Well, they put out the new stronghold, and they were touring through the new stronghold, and people were asking, and then
what about the drops? This is a looter shooter. What about the drops?
Well, no, the last thing, I can't remember if we talked about this in the show. The last major thing that happened it was rumored that like everyone was moving on to Dragon Age 4, and that wasn't the case. Like a couple people that aren't needed for Anthem at this point, because you don't need like a lead producer for a game that's come out already. You know what I mean? So like Mark Darrow went to Dragon Age 4. And like, oh, everyone's leaving.
I'm like, that doesn't make any fucking sense. But like, look, I think they're just going to chalk this up as a loss. But again, we'll see. But I don't.
Like I said, I cannot see them this early on just being like, yeah, fucking, just chalk it up as an L, just write it off. Like, no, you have too many people that are invested. It's not gonna. Yeah. You can't just do that. You can't just do that. I mean, for fuck's sake, Fallout 76 is still getting upgrades, and if there was anyone that would have been a good candidate to just fucking punt it and move on.
Not free to play yet?
No, it's not. You still have to buy that.
Wow,
really? I can't believe that.
Speaking of free to play, I don't remember when
Oh,
Dauntless was announced.
PS4?
Yeah, it's coming out. It's coming out next week, as a matter of fact. Free to play on PS4, Xbox One, and PC, starting on May 21st. Dauntless. This was it was a trailer that came out during one of the E3 presentations a couple of years ago. I really, honestly, don't remember which one. But this is a free to play game. It's drawing comparisons to like Monster Hunter, things of that nature, but shorter fights, simpler combat, fewer creatures, but a lot more accessible, obviously, than something like Monster Hunter is. So. Right. Man, it's free. Like I said, the game looks somewhat interesting. And again, if you're not going to charge me to play it, I'll at least try it. So,
yeah, it looks fun.
I'm sure. Yeah, it sounds like Terrence will too. Micah won't because he's a grumpy old man who doesn't like cool things. Doesn't like free to play games.
No.
Insists on spending $60 on every game, regardless of what game that is.
How will I know that it's good if I don't pay for it?
I don't want to know what kind of like money model they got to this. If it's that type of game, is it going to be cosmetics or what?
We shall see.
As far as that shit goes. Anyway.
So last week, the Ubisoft store leaked the existence of a new Ghost Recon game, and then Ubisoft debuted it the next day. So Ghost Recon Breakpoint is coming October 4th to PS4, Xbox One, and PC. Is a new Ghost Recon game, and the main antagonist of the game is going to be played by John Bernthal of the Punisher fame. Yep.
It looks really good.
It looks too fucking hardcore for me. Like, I watched that gameplay trailer that they showed. So the big thing with this one is that you have like persistent injury. So like think like Metal Gear Solid 3, basically, where you're fucking gimping around till you have a chance to throw a med pack on yourself, basically. And trying to move around, and your teammates can pick you up in the field. They can also like, firemen's carry you to a secure location before they try to revive you, which is smart. They made a big fucking stink how you can like roll around in the mud and camouflage yourself, because we've all seen the Predator before. And so, like I said, it looks like more Ghost Recon. It appears that if you enjoyed Wildlands, you should probably be looking forward to Breakpoint. But I'm sure we'll learn more at E3. What did you guys think of the gameplay reveal?
Like I said, it looks aesthetically, it looks kind of amazing. I don't know if I'm going to play this. Like I'm getting old, and my attention span is waning, and I just don't like a lot of difficulty anymore. That's why I haven't beaten. I have not beaten it. I listened to last week's episode. I have not beaten Sekiro. Fuck that.
Yeah, welcome to the club, bro.
Like, I'm like, yo, what the fuck? Like, again, like, it's too fucking hard. Just is. Like, I'm sure I could, but I don't want to anymore. I'm just done. Like, I don't even know how far into the game I am. I don't know if I'm almost done, if I'm halfway, whatever. But this looks fine. I mean, it's not my game, not my type of game.
The only Ghost Recon game I remember playing is Ghost Recon Advanced Warfighter. And from then on, I knew that Ghost Recon games are not for me.
And those games were easier than the original Ghost Recon games.
Right. Like,
nah, fuck all that. I ain't got time for all that.
First of all, because I enjoyed that game because it was very arcadey. It was more arcadey than the other ones.
Yeah, all that planning and shit. I ain't got time for all that.
But the thing with Ubisoft shooters, they don't feel right to me. They don't feel right. They all feel sluggish. They all feel like they're overly animated.
Yeah, it's because they're Assassin's Creed games that they threw guns into.
Like, it just doesn't the controls never feel right. Like, nothing feels snappy, nothing feels, and this looks like way more of that. And I am like you said, I don't need another job simulator. That's what this is.
Fucking Special Forces Simulator.
Yeah, I mean, look, it's a cool job or whatever, but it's a job simulator. Nah, man, I don't need all that.
Like, as soon as I saw the persistent injury thing, all I could think of is fucking diving through menus in MGS3 and getting like the little cutscenes of burning the leeches off you with like the fucking cigars and resetting your broken limb. because Naked Snake was able to take more punishment in a fucking 2-day time span than any human alive and still come out clean on the other side.
I would watch this movie. I would watch
Fair
the
enough.
movie, but I would not watch too much of someone streaming it. But yeah, I'd watch the movie. And like if they were like Soldiers of Fortune, then I'd really watch. Well, if they were like Soldiers of Fortune, then they'd be the A-Team. But but I would probably watch this movie. But I mean, like you said, Terrence, the game looks good, but I never understood like Ubisoft's like art direction. Their art direction to me always their faces, human faces in every Ubisoft game, human faces just don't look right to me.
I think the only thing I'm surprised about with this is that it's coming out in the fall. Like Ghost Recon seems like a spring release game to me. And I guess this is their big title for fall 2019. Because they're not going to have anything else. We know there's not going to be an Assassin's Creed game this year. I don't know when fucking Pirate Ship Simulator is coming out from them, but it's going to be at some point. But I guess this is their big fall title. It's just odd to me. I just feel like it's not going to do well where they have it slated. So we'll see.
They got the Punisher in it, so
they do. And while to be fair, Wildlands had a really long, much like a lot of their games have been lately. Wildlands had a really long dovetail.
Mm-hmm.
So
it's weird how Ubisoft, like they, for the last couple of years, they've released games that people are like, yo, what the fuck is this? But they've slowly, like, apparently that game is another one of those games, kind of like
Rainbow Six, where they just keep adding content to it. Yep.
He just added content to it, and people were like, oh, this is actually kind of dope. I don't know what's going on with their division, with their development, but
I mean, they're still adding content to Assassin's Creed Odyssey.
Yeah, there's something just came out today, or it's coming out next week, or some shit like that. Yeah.
All right.
Yeah.
So
at least if you get a Ubisoft game, it's going to be supported.
Yeah, you getting your money's worth.
Right. Very least.
It'll be more than you want, but you're getting it. God damn it. Nintendo released a small update to Tetris 99 that added offline play and a new marathon mode. You do have to pay for this update. It's $9.99. But that gets you, the traditional marathon Tetris mode, and you can do battle royale against 98 computer-controlled opponents. Of course, don't do that, because be a man and play Tetris 99 the way they intended against a lot of hardcore people. My prowess in that game is waning because obviously all the filthy casuals have stopped playing it at this point, and now all that's left are the fucking hardcores. So I'm not able to just finish top 10 every fucking match now, which is making me really sad.
The hardcore Tetrophiles.
Yeah, and there's a tournament this weekend that if you participate enough in, you get a Game Boy era skin for Tetris 99 that I'm looking very forward to.
Wow.
So
the highest I've never gotten number one. The highest I've gotten is number 2, and that's my life.
Well, I haven't won in a while. If it makes you feel any better, Micah.
But you've won, so it doesn't make me feel better, Brad. It really doesn't.
Well, Micah, now you can pay $10 and you can play against the computer and whittle them down to easy mode and have your way with them. So,
yep, that's also my life. Sitting around playing fighting games against the CPU.
Yeah, that just does nothing for me.
I turn it up. I turn the difficulty up. I get just enough, because knowing that there's another human being on the other side whooping my ass makes me mad. It really does. Like I try to be as cool as possible, but I have a competitive streak. Like I'm a fucking man. Right. I don't like losing either. That's why I keep, I suck. Bitch, I don't suck as bad as I say I do. That's just me trying to deflate the situation to throw you off guard to maybe go easy on me so then I can fucking beat you, yo. Like, because I hate fucking losing.
So
I don't go easy on anybody.
Quick aside, are you still playing Mortal Kombat 11, Micah?
I found the perfect way to play Mortal Kombat 11, and I can do it while multitasking. You see, when I get home, I want to play with my son, and I keep him, in this little pillow, and I talk to him or whatever. But next to me, I have the iPad. Now, normally the iPad is used for watching like TV or whatever or for him to listen to lullaby music, right? But when I get home and I'm playing with him, I turn on the remote play for the iPad, turns the PlayStation on, streams the PlayStation to the iPad. I set up a Towers of Time and see if there's in Mortal Kombat and see if there's some gear that I want. And then I put it on AI battle to let the computer just play the game for me. And then it gets me all the stuff I want.
That you will never use because you're not actually playing Mortal Kombat 11. You're letting the CPU
Correct.
play it for you. Fantastic. Fantastic testimonial for Mortal Kombat 11. Like we discussed a couple weeks ago, just let it play itself for you. It's fine.
Let it play itself. All that hard shit. Guess what? The CPU can read inputs too.
That's so fucking stupid. Like that whole setup is so goddamn dumb.
It's really dumb, yo. It's really dumb.
Last up in our quick hit news stories, there is a new exotic weapon in Destiny. It is a revamp of the Outbreak Prime from the original Destiny. It's called the Outbreak Perfected. They dropped this in much as they did with Whisper of the Worm, where they had a hidden exotic quest that the community stumbled upon and found. And it looks pretty cool, actually. Apparently, the pulse rifle is all the rage in the new meta right now. If you go into the Crucible, expect to see a lot of nanites flying around. And but yeah, like I said, I like when they do this. It's fun because again, they don't tell anybody that they do it. It's just up for the community to kind of find for themselves, and it kind of happens very organically, which is one of the cool things about the Destiny community still. But you can get it. There's a heroic adventure that you have to do. That gets you a item. You have to find the 6 nodes inside of lost sectors, and then once you've done that, you can do the mission, which is a 690 mission. So come in with your best fucking fire team, and it's much like the Whisper in the Worm mission. It is a 20-minute timed mission that you have to complete in order to get the weapon. So,
all right.
So before we move on to our top stories of the week, don't forget to go to youtube.com/densepixels, click the red subscribe button and ring the bell icon. We post this podcast in video format every single week, as well as a few other bits of video content. Whenever I do Let's Plays, it's always on our YouTube channel. So again, that's youtube.com/densepixels. Don't forget to subscribe to the premium side of the TNP Studios network. You can do that by going to densepixels.com/premium. That gets you access to our premium slate of shows. Still working on editing the fucking Mission Impossible 2 podcast. I'm assuring you guys it's a doozy. I'm trying to get it done this week, but there was some problem in the audio files, so it's been a more arduous process than I anticipated originally. But again, you can look forward to that. Just $5 a month or $50 for the entire year. So again, densepixels.com/premium. No matter what podcatching app you use to listen to your podcast, make sure you subscribe to this show, The Nerdpocalypse, Black on Black Cinema, and Coming Distractions, so that you can check out all of the TNP Studios network content. And since we don't have a post office this week, I will tell you also now, whenever you buy anything on Amazon, big or small, go to densepixels.com/Amazon. You'll pay the same low price, but you also help financially support your favorite video game podcast. Thank you guys to all of you who use our Amazon link. If you have not done it yet, what's stopping you? Give it a shot. It's real easy. Again, densepixels.com/Amazon. And you too can help support your favorite video game podcast. I will give the baton to Micah because we have to talk about the latest State of Play / Nintendo Direct that Sony just put out last week.
Yes. So they put one out, and last one was what, half hour? This one was a tight 15. And I had no idea what they would show.
Well, beforehand they had announced that they were going to do a quote deep dive on Medieval, which was not exciting anybody that was coming into this fucking presentation.
What?
Yeah. Look, if it's not exciting us, the people that played that game 20 years ago, it ain't gonna excite anybody younger than us. But yeah, they did. We can start with Medieval. Medieval is coming up again. The original Medieval debuted in October of 98, I think, and This one is coming out October 25th, 2019. I played Medieval briefly. I really didn't have a PlayStation until the PS01E, so I just played a little bit of it, but I never really got it.
I played it on PSP, got stuck, didn't pick it up again.
I never played it because it didn't look fun.
It falls into this like late 90s where everyone was making a 3D, hacking a 3D platform action game basically, and that's what this is.
Right.
So it was kind of like Spyro, but not as good.
I don't know how many people have fond memories of Medieval.
I have no idea. Like when they first announced they were doing this, I'm like, who's asking for this? Like, is there really people that are just like fucking where is Sir Daniel Fortescue? We've missed him for so long. Like, no, nobody was saying this.
So fucking it's strange. Okay, fine, whatever.
It seems like something Tim Burton would do, you know what I mean? Like that. All right. Next up, let's talk about Away, the survival series. When this game came on, I was like, yo, what the fuck is this? It is a game in which you play, what is this thing, Brad? A flying muskrat?
It's called the Sugar Glider.
A sugar glider.
Is that a real thing? I'm going to Google that while you're talking about Away.
Yeah, so you play as a sugar glider, and
holy shit, it is.
It's real.
I will. So, according to Wikipedia, the sugar glider is a small, omnivorous, arboreal, and nocturnal gliding possum belonging to the marsupial infraclass.
So you play a marsupial, and it can fly or glide. It's kind of like a survival game in which you're just kind of surviving nature, right? And I don't know. This is another game that I guess I'm just too stupid or too old or too both to fully appreciate.
It looks very pretty, and it looks like it could be fun, maybe.
And they just showed a spider at the end of it. I don't like that at all. No,
yeah, well, they were trying to terrify you specifically, Terrence, with that. That reveal.
Nope.
No, I want if I'm gonna play an animal in a game, it better be Primal Rage.
They did get the guy that did the soundtrack for Planet Earth to do the music for this game. So
there you go, Planet Earth, the video game.
Yeah.
Does
Isn't there another game coming out where you play some kind of mammal, like a monkey or something?
I'm sure there is, but it's probably escaping us at the moment.
Yeah, it's coming out like late this year or something like that. I don't remember. What's with these games where they make you play animals and you have to survive? What's going on with this?
I mean, it is different, right? Like we complain about the industry just churning out first-person shooter after first-person shooter. So I'm not going to completely shit on this game. The concept is sound, right? It's something that I don't know if I've never seen it before. But
this is the kind of game, if it gets good reviews, I will get it when it's like $10.
Yeah. Like,
or when it's free on PlayStation Plus, randomly. So
right. Like Flower, right? Like if you look at Flower, you're like, what the fuck is this, right? But then I actually played Flower and I really enjoyed it. But I played it when it was free. So, and this seems like that type of game, like you said. This is a PlayStation Plus choice for me. Next, let's talk about Riverbond. Look, I took one look at this game and immediately turned off. So, Brad, you're gonna have to tell me what this is.
So it is it's called a shoot and slash, where it's basically like a dungeon crawling game. Essentially, you can play it cooperatively. Micah was immediately dissuaded from it because it has 16-bit pixelated graphics, which, or as they call it, a voxel art style. I don't know what the fuck that's supposed to mean. The big thing is
this. What's that game called? The super popular one. The one that
Minecraft
started. Yeah, Minecraft.
Yeah, Minecraft was the
other one,
Roblox and shit like that, right? So The thing that's one thing they showed during the trailer for this is that they have a ton of different skins that you can get from other famous independent games like Guacamelee and Enter the Gungeon and Bastion and Psychonauts and stuff like that. And it's a couch co-op game, which is always fun. I'm willing to give this a shot. See, I do like these kind of like hack and slashy, like button mashy types of games. So like if the game is good, I could see me getting this and my wife and I playing it together, that sort of thing. So I'm not writing it off because I'm not a grumpy old man. That's the theme of the show. Is Mike is a grumpy old man who doesn't like things.
I don't, and I don't like it when they take indie games with very unique and interesting art styles and just turn them into blocks. I don't like it.
I mean, again, Minecraft did literally the same thing for everything. So they have Mass Effect packs in Minecraft, Mike. I don't know if you know.
I could have gone my entire life without you telling me that. God damn. All right. Next up, let's talk about Monster Hunter World Iceborne.
They certainly did.
Yeah, boy.
This was like half the fucking presentation, by the way.
Yeah, man. It comes out September 6th, and it's a whole new area with new monsters to kill. So this is pretty much just like a expansion, like Monster Hunter 1.5.
And by the way, they're saying this might have as much content as the original release had, essentially.
That's pretty amazing, actually. I tried to get into Monster Hunter, man. I really did. I just didn't like the way it felt.
We have to ask our resident Monster Hunter expert if he's going to be interested in getting this expansion when it comes out.
Are you talking about me?
Yeah, you're the one that's sunk in like 120 fucking hours into the game.
Fucking time is that game. I haven't played it in a while. Like, I think it's still on my PlayStation. I think so. It would take since I ain't played it in almost like 8 months. It would take me like a solid day to get back into the mechanics of that fucking game because I would not know what the fuck I'm doing. It's not easy to get into that game at all. And apparently this was the easiest version to get into. Fuck that. much like when we were earlier. Like, nah, man. I don't know. Like, I gotta play Monster Hunter again to kind of rev up for this.
You know what though? It would not shock me if they almost did like with as much content as this game has, it would, or this expansion has, it wouldn't shock me if they actually did like a re-tutorial option or something like that.
Yeah,
for players that hadn't played in a year.
It's a lot to that game, man. There's so much, and that's even all the time I put into it. There were certain classes I just did not know how to fucking use, or weapons I didn't know how to use. Man, it's crazy.
What did you end up using?
What one? I think by the time I kind of stopped, I was using the lance, the one that turned into a gun.
Yeah, I try. That just
it's
it
not
work for me.
Yeah, it's weird using it. And then the little pole, or whatever the fuck those are. I don't remember the name of the goddamn weapons. It's been that long. There was 3 that I used. I used the pole, the lance, and or like the gun lance, I think it's called, actually.
Yeah, I didn't like that either.
I never was able to use the katana.
I tried so hard to use that katana. I really wanted to use it, and I just
that shit is hard. It's very powerful, but I'm like, I can't use it.
Like, this is what happens when Sephiroth actually wields that big ass sword.
It weighs 37 pounds.
And then I ended up using like ranged stuff. But then,
I tried to use the arrow arrows. I couldn't really use
just
that.
Just taking and then I think I used a gun, and like taking pot shots doesn't do anything.
Yeah.
And then those monsters have just tremendous amounts of health, man. Like I'm just like
you gotta fight those monsters in waves. Like, they run away, you gotta chase them. And it's a lot. But I don't know. It depends. If I'm in that kind of mood, then I might. I don't know how much is the expansion going to be. Have they said?
Oh, I think it's at least 40, if not more. So
I mean, that game, you get your money's worth
value.
Monster Hunter. Like it's not going to be a waste of money. If that's your thing, you will not waste your money spending how much they charge for it, even if it's $60.
I mean, I really do almost feel like that this is the sequel to Monster Hunter World. It's just that they didn't want to make a whole new base game, so it's just here you're getting an expansion. You have to own the game originally, but let's get real. That's the people that this is going to be appealing to anyway.
Right.
So
those people are still playing Monster Hunter. Game is 2 years old. When did Monster Hunter come out? 2 Januaries ago. It was 08 January. So yeah.
So speaking of hunting monsters, Predator Hunting Grounds.
I'm actually excited about this game.
You know what? This is what Evolve should have been.
It is. And
this is what Evolve should have been. Like
what is this?
Huh?
But one person's playing the Predator, the other people are playing the
yes. Yeah. It is an asymmetrical. It's from the same folks that developed the Friday the 13th game that came out a couple years ago.
That's fine, but we don't know how it's going to play yet.
True. It's still over a year away. But this is the franchise that I want. Like, I was never compelled to get into Evolve or Friday the 13th or any of the other asymmetrical ones. You're making a fucking Predator game, I'm gonna be there.
Yeah, man. Like, this is the license to mine, and this is, if everything goes well, this is the way to do it. You know what I mean? Like, who doesn't want to hunt the Predator? And who
doesn't want to be the Predator?
Who doesn't want to be the Predator? You know what I'm saying?
Like, if they do this right, they got to have the skins for the characters from the movies, right?
Oh, well, they're working with Fox, so the barrier to do this should be pretty low, I would assume.
Right.
So.
Yeah.
And then
I want Danny Glover. I'm playing Danny Glover.
Oh no!
Right.
Oh no! It's fucking. I'll be rocking the Bill Duke skin all day, every day in this fucking game.
Danny Glover, sweaty ass silk shirt. That's what I want.
I really want an urban level, by the way. Because
Los Angeles,
just a hot ass Los Angeles.
This is a PlayStation exclusive, by the way.
Wow.
Game is due out next year. Asymmetrical gameplay. Somebody's the Predator. A couple other people are the Marines hunting the Predator. Come on, man. I need someone to say sexual Tyrannosaurus in this game at some point. Like, I'm just curious as to, like, there's so many different like ways that you can do this, man. Like, and I want to see the Predator in action, man. Like, I want the Predator to be fucking broken. Like, there's no way, if you know how to play these types of games, there's no way if you are the Predator, you will lose a one-on-one contest.
But like I said, could you imagine also like being able to like set traps for it and stuff like that, and do all that shit?
Oh, I can't wait for this game. I can't wait, man. Here's a game that a lot of other people can't wait for. I can wait. I mean, I'm not going to front.
It's a good thing you can, because you're going to.
I'm not going to front. I'll pick it up when it comes out. But, I can wait.
I will probably at least pick up the first episode of this game.
Yeah, because that's what they're doing.
They are doing that. They confirmed it already.
Oh, okay. They're only showing you the bombing run. Like, they're only showing you the first part of this game.
Of course.
And this game we're talking about is Final Fantasy VII Remake. I don't like I don't like the name. Like, call it Final Fantasy VII. Like, give it a different subtitle. Final Fantasy VII Remake just doesn't sound right to me. It sounds like
7.
Yeah, honestly, at this point, you probably
Resident Evil 2.
Yeah,
right.
Whatever. There's no reason you can't.
It's Final Fantasy VII Part 1.
Apparently, this was just a teaser. I'm assuming they're going to talk more about this at E3.
Yeah. It's going to be playable at E3.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Interesting. We got to see like I said, the bombing run mission, basically, or parts of it. Nice to see that they're sticking with the source material and how much of a fucking caricature stereotype Barrett is in the game. If you thought his dialogue in the game was bad, just wait till you hear it in fully voiced glory. So
yeah, good lord. But look, it looks. I'm not gonna lie, looks good. Looks good.
Yeah,
I'm interested.
Clearly using like the Final Fantasy 15 engine.
Yeah, I'm very curious to see if it's just Final Fantasy 15 or like how is this gonna play. It looks like you can switch characters on the fly. Yeah, I'm very, very curious about this game that will never come out within my lifetime.
I don't care for Barrett's hair.
Look,
have you seen like a still shot, like a close up of his character model?
I haven't. I will look for it, but I've also seen every other black person's hair in video games. So
that's kind of a thing.
I'm not. It's. I am desensitized to it. I don't know. I don't know how the fuck they pulled off Cloud's fucking bouquet of triangles that are on his head, and they pulled it off in this, but they can't do Barrett. All right, yo. All right, whatever.
Basically, he looks like a fucking bionic commando. Basically,
that's just Jesus Christ.
Yeah.
But like I'm looking at how involved this is and how it's just like the bombing run, and then I'm thinking about like when that game opens up, like it opens up. So how is this going to work, man?
I have a really bad feeling that it is going to be linear as fuck.
I mean, it kind of has to be at this point, right? Like if
and from what I understand, I don't know if this is rumor or if this has a basis in reality. It's probably just rumor, so take this with a grain of salt. But they are basically making Final Fantasy VII, but they are streamlining it. So they are eliminating all of the side shit and just fucking main pathing the game, essentially.
I mean,
at the feast of purpose.
I don't see how else you're gonna do it. I don't like no airship, no open world, none of that, right?
Oh, there'll be an airship because that's in the main story of the game.
I mean, it'll be an airship, but I mean, you can't control it. Like,
probably not. You'll probably just go from one area to the next, just advancing the fucking plot of the game.
Because this is going to be aimed at a specific clientele. They're not gonna like that, yeah. They're gonna play that first episode or whatever the fuck they're gonna call it. They're gonna be like, yo.
No, but the thing is, they will like it. Terrence. Like they are used to having shit shoveled at them and just fucking smiling and taking it honestly. Like with Square games.
Yeah, they will. They will.
That's a problem.
Look at reaction videos for this. Fucking Maximilian. Look, we like Maximilian. We like that guy. That motherfucker did a 16-minute video on this 3-minute clip
where they showed you nothing. By the way, like you got glimpses of gameplay.
And look, if you are a huge fan, look, I was right there with you. I we joke about this game, but the game is a milestone setter, right? Like it brought people into.
Oh, it is unequivocally, and I say this with no hyperbole at all. It is one of the 3 most important video games of all time. Not best,
right,
but most important.
But like you are going to do yourself a disservice if you are thinking that you are going to get the Final Fantasy VII experience from the 90s with this art style. Like it just you will don't get your feelings hurt.
They did Final Fantasy 15. That wasn't open world? I never played it.
Final Fantasy 15 it's not as open world as this. Like they had a car in it, but everything was
open world for Final Fantasy. It's just essentially just the overworld that you're just kind of walking through until you go from town to town. It's not necessarily open world. So you don't think they could do that?
Not with this. I don't think so. I don't think you're gonna have a character just kind of walking around. Like I think this is gonna be streamlined, or it's gonna be like 20 episodes.
No, it's gonna be
like the 3 discs like they did for the original game.
Yeah,
It is very much
end of
mainstream.
part 1. Wait 3 months for part 2. Like, see, no, I'm not. No,
months.
fuck
Yeah,
that.
3 months. That's hilarious. 3 months.
Well, if they've been working on the game for however long they said they've been working on it, it should be done, right?
They've been working on.
They worked on Kingdom Hearts 3 for fucking 10 years. You think this is coming along any quicker than that?
Yeah, see, people are getting their hopes way the fuck up. They're gonna have part 1, then they're gonna wait another like 2 years for part 2. Like, no, just at this point, just wait.
Remember when Final Fantasy 15 was called Final Fantasy Versus 13, and then they realized, oh shit, we're probably not gonna have a Final Fantasy 15, so let's just make this Final Fantasy 15. That's what happened, folks.
Right.
They were like, we don't have a game coming out in our main line, so whatever, yo. Let's just call this shit Final Fantasy 15. Nobody gives a fuck.
So,
yeah, well, okay.
So that was state of play.
Like, again, I love Final Fantasy VII. Okay.
Like I said, right. I'll play episode 1. It better not cost
that should be $20.
It better be fucking 10.
It's gonna be 40.
Yeah.
It's gonna be $40. It's gonna be $40, and they're gonna be 5 of them.
Get the fuck out of here.
Watch.
Yo, I don't even want to think about that and how right you probably are. That's the fucking terrifying part about it.
Maybe I don't know. Maybe I'm just, I don't know.
Speaking of us being right, it was only a matter of time before legislators came after the video game industry in regards to loot boxes. But that is happening now. Josh Hawley is a freshman senator from the great state of Missouri. Josh Hawley, also notable for being one of the people that was running on protecting pre-existing conditions while simultaneously suing to remove them, to fucking remove the ACA. But I digress. He's proposing new legislation for loot boxes. He has a bill that's entitled the Protecting Children from Abusive Games Act.
That title has fucking, I mean, he hit all the buzzwords.
Yeah, pretty much.
Children abuse. Like, all right, yeah.
So the bill, and it's just in the proposal stage right now. It hasn't moved at all since this happened. Includes basically prohibitions from loot boxes and pay to win features in games that are aimed at minors. The part of the bill that's a little hinky is how it determines what games are aimed at minors. His bill uses the Children's Online Privacy Protection Act, which was passed back in 1998. And basically it points to games that have childlike avatars, kid-friendly music, in-game hosts that are popular TV characters. But his bill would also apply to games with wider audiences. And I'm quoting from the bill here: games with wider audiences whose developers knowingly allow minor players to engage in microtransactions like Fortnite. And it would be on the FTC to enforce the bill, basically. Of course, the ESA pushed back against this, as you would expect them to do, saying that this shit's already in place and it's fine. This seems like a pretty heavy reach, like outright prohibiting or trying to outright prohibit loot boxes from being in games. It's also pretty fucking rich coming from, the free market party who just relies on the free market to fucking settle everything. I'm not trying to make this a huge political discussion, but I can't help but fucking wade into it.
Facts.
Look, we had to see this coming. I think this is a very heavy-handed approach, or at least a shot at it. I honestly don't see how this has any chance to fucking make it out of make it into something that has to be worried about. But look, people are coming from the game industry. This is the byproduct of failing to police yourselves and letting shit get out of control, basically. And when fucking Epic's raking in money hand over fist, and when EA's raking in money hand over fist, and Activision's raking in money hand over fist, you're gonna raise the ire of DC. That's just how this shit fucking works. What do you guys think about this bill that Josh Hawley would like to propose?
Look, I don't like microtransactions, so if they got rid of them, good. But like at the same time, calm down. It's like, watch your fucking kids. Don't give your kids your credit card information. Yeah. But then again, like, some of these older people are doing the same shit. I have a quick question before you answer. There's always a debate on like hardcore gamers and casual gamers and so on and so forth. Casual gamers usually meaning like people that play like free to play games on their phones and shit like that. That's the entirety of like the loot box model, right? Like when you play games on your phone, it's like, oh, I want to beat this level. I don't have enough coins or whatever, so I'm just gonna go ahead and pay $5. So
well, see, phones are like mobile games like that are arguably worse because
that's what I'm saying. That's what I'm saying. So like that particular model, like, but they're like again, paid games are getting closer and fucking closer to that type of model, you know? Like look at fucking Mortal Kombat. It's not as bad, but look at Mortal Kombat, for example. Like, okay, this skin is exclusive for this amount of time. If you have the money to do so, you can buy it now. Or if you have the coins to do so, you can buy it now. But if you don't, $5, you get the skin. Like,
and it forces you
clearly. Like that's first of all, that's manipulation. Yeah, like it's manipulating the person into saying like, okay, I'll just shell out this $5. And that's what I'm saying. Like,
it forces you to log in every day.
Right. So
like, which again is more and more opportunity for you to fucking dole out more money. And,
right. So with that being said, do you think like again, like if you play games, you're a gamer, but at the same time, like there are levels to this shit, right? Like casual gamers, they'll just be like, all right, fuck it, I'll just put money. I don't have the time to actually put in to unlock the shit. So do you think? I'm not going to say it's their fault per se, but do you think they're kind of the cause of why these big game companies are making you pay $60, but also implementing these fucking microtransactions that you see on like games?
Yes. Oh yes, absolutely. Like it's they are absolutely taking cues from the mobile industry.
Yeah,
and look,
that shit drives me crazy. Like I hate mobile games. Some games I do play because I'm bored. But like, I'm never gonna give money to unlock. Suck my no.
Elder Scrolls Blades, the
exactly
Skyrim that was introduced. That was introduced at E3 last year. That's making its way not only to phones and tablets but also to consoles at some point as well. Is in I think open beta right now, and even they have the hey, like you can wait 6 hours to open this treasure chest, or you could give me a little bit of currency to open it now, so you don't have to sit there and wait for it. Like even that mechanic is finding its way into fucking Elder Scrolls.
That's insane, man.
At this point, absolutely, they take their cues from the mobile industry. Now, I do think there's a separation though between that like time saving mechanics, which I think are arguably worse, and loot boxes, which I think people, again, we mention the G word on this podcast all the time, is people's association of loot boxes with gambling, the fact that you don't know what you're buying when you get these loot boxes. And I think that's more of where legislation is going to be focused. For some reason, I don't think they give a shit about these games where you can fucking build a building in Clash of Clans and you can wait 24 hours for it to be built, or you can give us $2 and we'll build it in 2 seconds.
Right.
and that sort of thing. I don't think they give a fuck about that. I think it's easy to go after loot boxes specifically because of the gambling aspect or the chance aspect that goes with them. And I think you're seeing the game industry, to their credit, I think you're seeing them realize that to a point where I feel like that loot boxes are starting to be pared back a little bit. Like I think I'm trying to think of all the games that have come out, like the big games that have had microtransactions that have come out in the past year. And I'm struggling to think of many paid games that have legitimate, like fucking pull the slot lever loot boxes at this point.
That was Star Wars Battlefront 2.
That was over a year ago though. I'm saying like that was the big like reckoning for everybody.
They took those out. They are not there at all anymore.
Right, they're not there at all anymore. Shadow War took out their fucking microtransaction marketplace. That's not there at all anymore. I mean, Apex has them, but Apex is a free-to-play game. Like you don't have to pay a dime.
And not only do they have it, but then they have the chances of what you like, whether it be epic or like regular. They have the percentages of what you're going to get when you actually get the boxes. So that's something they put in. Like you have like a 0.3% chance to get like an epic something or whatever,
Mhm.
and you are guaranteed to get something epic every 30 boxes you open. So that's how they do it. I'm like, nigga, that's $30.
Yeah, come on.
Like, really, this is not making it any better, my nigga. But at least they put the percentages up to forward. I'm like, that doesn't help. And there's like 1,600 different things to unlock in that game.
Yeah.
No.
But again, I think that this is the typical thing that you see, especially when fucking Congress gets involved. And to be fair, so we are whenever like congressional bodies get involved in this stuff, we typically like point and laugh at, because it's usually like old white men and women that are fucking out of touch and don't understand what they're talking about. Josh Hawley's 39 years old. He's one of the youngest senators I think he might be the youngest senator in the Senate serving currently, and he's of our generation.
Yeah, he grew up playing games.
Right, he probably still does.
Fuck is this bullshit?
For all intents and purposes, he probably is.
Probably why he's spearheading it. Like, yo, I played games when they were just done. Like, I paid my $60. I didn't have loot boxes. What the fuck is this?
Right.
So he's probably trying to do something about it because it's bullshit. He knows it's bullshit, but.
And so I think that he's not going to go away quite as easily as some of the other folks in the past that have kind of dipped their toe in the water.
Like, he's essentially giving the core demographic a voice.
Well, and not only that, but his claim to fame, actually, he was one of the lead attorneys in the Hobby Lobby case, which, if those of you recall from a couple of years ago, that was argued before the Supreme Court, that reinforced the, quote, religious freedom rights of corporations. That was determined in that. So he's got some cred behind him. So again, I think this is a little too heavy-handed. I don't think that I think there's a First Amendment challenge if you're going to try to outright bar games from having these mechanics in them. But it's going to cause people to take a sharper look at this, especially if this bill does gain any traction. And again, you brought this on yourselves, game companies.
Yeah.
But people don't like this shit. Like, they don't.
Yeah, but here's the thing. But here's the thing.
Nuts.
They do. They do. Like,
well, and here's the thing. Here's the thing that you have to remember. Who pays the end cost at the end of the day? It's never the companies. Like, you may say, oh, it would be fantastic if they got rid of these mechanics. No, it wouldn't. Because then you're going to start paying $80 for video games. And you're going to be really fucking pissed off about that.
I don't believe that, though. Yeah.
You think Terrence, do you really think that these companies are just going to make less money? Do you think that they're just going to you think they're going to let their stockholders just fucking eat their shirts in the fucking market? Right. Do you think Bobby Kodak's not collecting his $65 million fucking bonus and salary at the end of the year? Do you think that's not happening?
They're laying people off. They're look, all right, look, you know what your games you can find? All right, fine. Well, then you just put this person on the street. Like, that's what's gonna happen, and you can't lay off everybody.
No, and so again, I think it does need to be reined in, and it is imperative that the game companies do this shit themselves before it is done for them, because again, it will be done in a way that they don't like it, and at the end of the day, the consumers are the ones that are going to pay the cost, not the game company. So,
you know how much $65 million is a day?
It's a lot.
It's $178,000 a day.
It's a lot of money.
That's disgusting. Yet they can't pay. All right, you know what? That just made me really mad. I just was like, yo, $65 million, that's a lot of money. Let me see how much that is if you break it up. 365.
Well, see, this is why I went second, because I didn't want to end the show on an angry note. So, Terrence, tell us about Apex Legends coming to mobile and why the game might be dead.
Well, I didn't know it was coming to mobile. So apparently, Apex Legends is coming to mobile. That's whatever. You won't see me playing that shit. I refuse to even attempt to play a shooter on a mobile.
I know that I get that phones and tablets are, getting mighty powerful nowadays, and Fortnite works fine on mobile, and apparently PUBG works fine on mobile, and this was probably inevitable, and we shouldn't be surprised about it. I still couldn't fucking imagine playing Apex Legends on mobile.
Nah, yeah, there's too much. There's too much going on.
But PUBG can be played on mobile, apparently,
with a ton of fucking auto aim. You can't aim a goddamn gun on a fucking phone, yeah. You can't. But the funny part is, like, you can play, like, people on Fortnite, at least, you can play people on their phone, and they have an advantage because their fucking like the aim assist is immense on a phone. It's so fucking weird. I'm like, nah, get out of here. Y'all play in your own goddamn rooms. Fuck you. Kind of like a mouse and keyboard. People like if they make this crossplay, I'm not playing people on PC. Suck my dick. No, yo. I'm already terrible enough. I don't need to be playing somebody with a mouse and keyboard on Apex Legends. But anyway, it's coming out on mobile apparently. But a lot of people are saying that the game is essentially dying, and that's kind of bullshit.
But before you go into details, when are people gonna fucking learn about the ebbs and flows, especially for games that are fucking connected online games? Like every single video game goes through fucking peaks and valleys of users.
Right.
You always get the most people you're ever gonna see in the first month the game comes out, and then it's a steady decline.
It declines
until it plateaus, and then it just kind of waves on this like same fucking wavelength.
Well,
this happens with every game.
Yeah, people are fucking dumb, and I think we have and I wanted to get into a little bit more of a discussion about this, but I think our attention spans are like less than zero at this point. But the saying is dying because the first month there was like 50 million people playing this shit at any given time. It was a lot of fucking people playing this game. I don't know if it was playing at the same time or watching it on Twitch or whatever. But it was a lot.
50 million. They had 50 million unique users in the first
first month. It came out later that a lot of people, a lot of influencers on Twitch and YouTube were paid to play the game to kind of get its name out there. And again, if anybody remembers, this game just came out of the fucking blue. People heard about it on the weekend, and like 2 days later, bam, it was free to play. It was kind of crazy, and it's a very good game. But since then, like it's slowly declined. Like season 1 has been pretty lackluster. I'm like a level 87 out of 110. And it's really like the incentive to get through the 110 levels is just a gun that I rarely use, that has a kind of a badass skin. So they're gonna have to improve that. But the reason people are saying it's dying is because, again, like just less than like it averages, instead of 50 million fucking unique users, maybe up like 1 million. That's still a lot of fucking people. Like you don't see as many people streaming on Twitch, but it still gets like 300,000 people watching it per week. That's still a lot of fucking people.
So I pulled up. I figured this was going to come up, so I have the Twitch directory pulled up right now.
Mm-hmm.
Apex Legends is currently sitting at number 12. Now, A Plague Tale, which just came out, is above it right now. Okay. GTA 5 is currently the top streamed game at the moment. I guess they have an event or something going on in GTA 5.
GTA 5 been up there for like 7 years.
Right. But it has more people than Rage 2, which is just now coming out. So I'm sure that'll probably coming out tomorrow. It's got more people than World of Warcraft currently, Hearthstone, Black Ops 4, Rocket League. Like, it's not like it's in the fucking doldrums or anything here.
Right. And it's fucking Monday night. Right. So people are saying it's dying. It's like less people watching it, less people playing it. But if you look it up, it's the number 3 game played on Xbox Live.
Come on.
Number 3 on Xbox. I don't know what it is on PC. It's probably in like top 10 on PlayStation 4. So a lot of people are still playing this. But the thing is, again, like it was paid users. They were like, yeah, we were paid to play it. We don't play it anymore. We moved on to whatever the fuck. Maybe they just didn't like it, but they were paid to play it.
Or Division 2 came out and they're playing that right now. Or
whatever other
Borderlands event, and so they're doing Borderlands content right now. Like it's not
like people still like releasing videos on like getting better at Apex Legends. They're like uploading their gameplay. People like really good. People still get like hundreds of thousands of hits on like Let's Plays and shit like that. But people are coming up with this narrative that it's dying, and it doesn't make any fucking sense. So my question is, I guess as far as like YouTube influencers and shit like that goes, because if you like Google that shit on YouTube, if you like search YouTube, just put in Apex Legends dying or fading or whatever phrase you want to use. Like, do you think like the influencers are I know that they're trying to get clicks and shit like that, and they want you to click to see what their reasoning for it. And it's usually just because it's not a lot of people watching it anymore, or not as many people as the first month playing it. But to me, it just seems like people just have really, really short attention spans. Like the game was cool, it's not cool anymore. We're gonna move on to something. Now it's dead. That's not how things work. Like again, like honestly, to be honest, it's been a minute since I've actually played. I mean, I played a couple days ago, and I'm like, I'm waiting for them to release some new content, because while I really love the game, like I want a new gun or something like that. And Fortnite is literally updating every like 4 days. And that's the other thing, because Epic puts $1 billion behind that game, because that game has made $7 billion in the last 2 years or whatever.
Well, and Respawn specifically came out and said a week or so ago, they came out and said, look, we're not going to be like Fortnite and putting out updates every week. Like we're going to try to do more substantial updates, but they're going to be more sparse, because we're not, like, that's not what we're trying to do.
An Infinity or Endgame thing for when that movie came out. Like they had all that for the Avengers weapons and shit.
No. But Endgame's dead because it didn't make $500 million in the second.
Like that's the shit that, like, I don't like people. People get on my fucking nerves. Like people, if it's not the number one thing, it's dead.
So influencer culture is an interesting bring up with this. So I've talked about MTash on the show before. He's one of the few influencers that I actively follow and watch a lot of videos that he puts out. So he talked about very recently so he used to exclusively do Destiny, and the problem with being a single game streamer is that unless you're fucking Ninja and you're like the Fortnite guy, you know what I mean? Like unless you are the guy for this game, your audience will wane as the game wanes. Like when Destiny is down, his views are down. When Destiny is back up because a new piece of content comes out or something crazy happens, his views go back up. So he realized a long time ago that just sticking with one game, just doing Destiny, was not only not fun, because these people are human beings like you and I, and would you want to sit there and just play the same game over and over and over and over and over and over again and never play it for 8 hours a day and never do anything else? No, it sounds fucking insane. So he realized that the best thing for his channel, the best thing that he could do, is to play the popular game. Like whatever the new game in the shooter space is going to be, that's what he's going to play. And he'll still go back to Destiny. He'll still go back to some of these other games that, you know, when stuff happens that his community comes in for. But when he started switching around, like when Division 2 came out, he started doing a lot of Division 2 stuff. Now Division 2 is kind of dropping off. So he's been doing some Borderlands content. And so like he's kind of going around different games, but he's keeping up with the zeitgeist. And for most streamers, that's what you have to do, because like Terrence said, our attention spans suck and we're all distracted by the next thing that comes out of nowhere, you know what I mean? Or the next big game that comes up.
Right. So when the new character comes out for Apex Legends, it's going to be like the top 3 again, because people are going to see how the character plays and the new content. Like a new gun is coming out. That's a gun that was the L-Star, if I'm not mistaken, from from the game,
from Titanfall.
God damn. From Titanfall, be the next gun to come out. People are going to see how that gun works. Somebody that has real skill, they want to see how they use it, because I'm terrible with most of the guns in that game.
I mean, it's our attention span, but it's something else too, man. It's like take Destiny for example, right? Like every streamer complained when they ran through all of Destiny's content, 3 months worth of content in 5 days.
Right.
And now, but the game's dead. The game's dead.
Right. But meanwhile, and we didn't talk about this in Quick Hits. So the new season, the season of Opulence, starts on June 6th. They're dropping the raid 6 hours after the season starts. Keep an eye on Twitch on June it's June 4th. Keep an eye on Twitch on June 4th and see where Destiny 2 is while the fucking raid race is going on.
Right.
Spoilers is gonna be pretty fucking high, I would imagine.
Yeah, whether or not a game is dead or not, first of all, I mean, I know that game is reliant on people playing it for it to, work. to get the experience that you need, but you can't tell me that no one is playing that game. When a game is dead, that means that no one is playing it. And I hate to be pedantic, right? But you're making me be pedantic. Like, you can get a game if you want to play. So,
Apex. For Apex.
Yeah. Like, it takes me 10 seconds to get into a game.
Right. Like, it's you know.
Right. So the game ain't the game isn't dead. You just aren't playing it, you self-centered asshole. Like that's another thing. You know, all right. Here's Grumpy Mike again. That's another thing with technology nowadays, and like everybody's got their Facebook and everybody's got a Twitter. Like, it makes people feel self-important. Like, you want to hear what I got? Influencers, nigga. What the fuck? Influencer is a job. Telling people your opinion about something that doesn't mean anything is a job now, and people get paid like a ton of money doing it.
I mean, to be fair, film critic has been a job for a really long time. So,
I mean, I guess, man, but you know, film critics, at least, you know, film critics worth their salt, not three doofuses on a podcast, but like people who write for film critiques in like newspapers. They have degrees. They got journalism degrees. They might have went to film school and dropped out. And I don't know, man. Like, just playing a game and having an opinion on it is a job now, and that just blows my fucking mind, man.
Well, and this, I think, also goes into something that we talk about on the show a lot. And this, again, this is the grumpiness in all of us. Is the fact that there is no fucking nuance anymore. There is no middle ground anymore. It's got to be the best fucking game of all time or the worst game of all time.
It's epic or trash.
Right. It's either, and so now it's even gone to the game is popping and it's the most popular thing ever, or it's fucking dead because it's not number 2 on fucking Twitch every single day.
When literally nothing else in life is like that, except for digital math. Nothing else is either on or off. Not even lights. They got dimmer switches. Your fucking lights in your house have more.
Well, it extends to
arguments.
I mean, it extends to everything. It's the Rotten Tomatoes debate. You know what I mean? Like, it's either, if it's not, it's either fresh or it's rotten. Like, it's binary. There is no in between with this shit anymore. So
that's how that works, man. Yeah, it's wow, man. Wow, what a world we live in now.
It just is. Like, calm the fuck down.
Yeah, everybody calm down. Yo. Everybody calm down.
So whenever you guys see Terrence on Apex, just ask him why he's playing a dead ass game.
Yeah, I don't know. No idea.
So me neither. Who would play such a trash dead game? I can't believe it. If all the kids aren't playing it, then what the fuck are you even doing? And look, and again, that just goes to show you, and in fairness, it just goes to show you how impressive Fortnite is that they're able to retain the audience at the level they do. But again, that's the exception.
Fucking workers, like,
yeah, right. So they're fucking killing their employees to death left and right. You know, right. let's gloss over that fact.
Yeah, but that game is constantly being updated, but there's people behind the scenes doing them updating every week.
Correct.
There's something going on every fucking week in that game. It's crazy.
But again, it's important to note that Fortnite is the exception that proves the rule. Like, they are the one anomaly in the mix.
Right. And then get mad when you got to pay for everything. Like, all right, well, look, you ain't paying for Apex. You're not paying they're not bombarding you with a bunch of microtransactions, are they?
No.
So, yeah, do you want them to bombard you with a bunch of microtransactions that people will have to buy so that they can pay people to update this more frequently?
I mean, guys, there are people that fucking, like, that I talk to just passing through the day that are just like, Overwatch is a dead game. What the fuck are you talking about? Like,
again, I can find a match in Overwatch like less than a minute at any given time. I could be 3 in the fucking morning.
Overwatch League is arguably the most popular fucking esport going on right now. It's constantly in the top 10 on Twitch, but sure, the game's fucking dead because you're not playing it. So, well, I wanted to end on a positive note, and we ended up ending as fucking grumpy old men sitting around fucking yelling at kids to get off my lawn. Son of a bitch.
Goddamn.
So if you want to join in the conversation with us and all of our listeners, make sure you join our fan group, densepixels.com/fans. Follow us on social media. Just search for Dense Pixels and you can find us there. Subscribe to the show no matter what app you use to get your podcast. Subscribe on YouTube, youtube.com/densepixels. If you want to see Terrence playing a dead game for Scrubs, just follow him on Twitch at Apparition410. You can also follow our regular co-host Gary at Suppets Carry. So if you want to see her playing Golden Sun, another dead ass game, then you can check that out as well. So that is it for us this week. Thank you guys very much for listening and watching. I will see you all the next time.
See you. Take it easy.
You're watching the Dense Pixels YouTube channel. Click the subscribe button while you're here and make sure you check out our weekly podcast where we discuss the latest gaming news and our impressions on what games we've been playing.